Hey guys, so I decided to record this video because it was gonna be way too much to write down. So grab a pen and paper and write this down. And of course, we could dig into each one of these, or we could go into it a little bit more at another time. But yeah, grab a pen and paper and write this down. So pause, do that, and now let's go. So I usually looked at a couple different numbers, and based on like what we were really focusing on in the quarter or in the business or with my partners, we would make decisions based off these numbers. But our CRM gave us basically 5 different categories that we would look at. One was studio health, how like healthy was our studio at that specific moment in time. The financial side of things, development, the growth of the studio, sales performance. Sales is a big portion of course, making sure that the business is profitable. And attrition, like, okay, are we not just selling, but are we keeping our members? Are we getting new members, and are we keeping our members? So in regards to studio health, super simple. Active members, how many members do we have right now that are in auto pay or are in a package is what we looked at also. Net memberships, it's the aspect of how many new members did we get in versus how many members did we lose. Utilization, the members that we have at the moment, are they actually utilizing our studios? And then we had like a NPS score, which is like a net promoter score, which is like after every session we gave out a survey, they gave us a grade, and based on that, like we understood like where we're standing at. And this was private, so it gave us an idea on what things we can do to like better the studio. And it was all private. It wasn't like an online review, so we asked our members to be honest with us. Other than that, that was like studio health, basically. Okay, how good is our product? Then financials, basically projected monthly revenue. So like, okay, all the auto pays put together, what are we projecting? And then throw in the cash drawer that we have so far. So outside of like the auto pays, what new money do we have coming in? And then of course daily we would actually look at that cash drawer outside of like our auto pay. If we had we didn't really have a lot of retail, it's just like water and electrolytes. But then it's like, were we selling new memberships? Were we selling new packages? Were we selling new intros? Like we didn't do a free trial. We did the discounted first session. So like, okay, do we have money flowing into the business regularly on a daily basis? We had goals based on that too. That's financial. Development wise is like the growth of the studio. So how many leads are we getting in daily? How many reach outs are we having daily? Reach outs could be calls being made or text messages being sent, new calls, new text messages being sent for the purpose of generating more leads or converting these leads into intros, which is like first time visits. And by that, it's like, how many intros do we have? And what is that percentage? Like the leads that we come in to the intros that were actually sold. We would find a number, find what that number is. And then out of those intros that we sold, how many actually showed? And then from those intros that actually showed, and then this was actually leads into the sales portion of it. But basically, again, leads, reach outs that we have on a daily basis, intros that we sold, what the percentage of new leads that came in to actually intros being sold, and then how many of them actually showed up. That was development. Then sales performance is regards to like, okay, the intros that showed up, how many were we able to convert into new member sales, and what is that conversion percentage based on like intro showed versus converted to new member sales. And then of course we also sold packages. So like, how many new packages were we able to sell? Did we have reoccurring packages, people that bought packages that bought another package, and then packages sold? And then we had like drop-ins, people that would just come in for like a day pass, how many were sold? And then win-backs, intros that came in for the first session, didn't buy a membership, but they bought a second session, which we offer. Like we call it a win-back, but it's like, hey, come in, try it again. Because sometimes we notice that the first visit isn't where you get the best experience. The more often you come, the better you're going to notice, like you're going to see those results, blah blah blah. So we offered a win back, and a lot of times if they took that second discounted session, it usually meant that they ended up becoming a member. And then we also sold plus ones. Of course, like we had, you could come in and you could bring someone with you for an extra price. Oh, and then we also tracked true conversion, because you could purchase our stuff online. The true conversion is like, okay, our salespeople in the studio, how many are they selling versus how many people are buying online? Because technically, like, we want our salespeople to sell, because anyone can buy online. Yeah, that's sales performance. And then the attrition is basically how it goes into like lifetime value of a customer, like how good are we at keeping our customers. And with that, it's like we looked at how many declines we had for the month. So people that are in the auto pay, that their card was declined, and this was on a daily basis. Of course, if someone's card declined, salesperson gets on a phone call right there and then to make sure that, like, hey, we need to update your card. Suspensions, people that put their memberships on pause, and then terms remaining, it's like terminations, basically how many people put up for a cancellation. And then based on that, we got like the attrition percentage is like, okay, how, like based on members that come in, how many members are actually staying and how many are leaving on a monthly basis. But yeah, that's it. Of course, there was like a whole bunch of other numbers that we looked at, and there's like a mix of these numbers that we could look at. But those are like some of like the big ones that I would look at on a daily basis and make a lot of my decisions based on that. If you guys have any questions, or and of course we go dive deeper into each one of these, yeah, we'll go from there. Have a good one, guys.